Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Today I'm going to do a brief video entitled, I Am Not a Slave to Theory. And what I mean by that is people that have grown up with theory, they think that the whole world revolves around theory. And theory is basically, by definition, someone's thoughts. It's not fact. And they're afraid to step outside of that theory box. And anybody else does, they call them out to say, you're wrong. Because I just recently did a cover per request from a group called Radiohead. Name of the song's called High and Dry. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Professional musicians have sites that they can go to that are only reserved for them. You know, just the average person can't access this information. So in order to just make sure for me to do this song right, because I could actually figure that by ear, but I'm like, I got access to this site so I can go in, because the site that I'm talking about, a lot of the artists themselves submit this information to the site. So it ain't just a couple of college kids that are bored and they erected a site that you can go on and play their guest chords. So I went onto the site, and the site says for that song it's 3 chords: F sharp minor 7, parentheses 4, and then A minor, no, just A, parentheses 9, and then E minor. So instead of playing it, the 4 and the 9, I just simplified it and played F sharp minor 7 and A. And then I play E minor because that's what the song calls for. And I got 2 people put me a comment. In the key of V, there is no E minor, so that E minor is an E major. No, it isn't. I mean, if you listen to the song, you can't substitute them. You hear a big difference. So it's just interesting, these theory guys that want to always call you out to think that you're wrong when actually they're wrong. Everybody that plays music don't obey by the theory circle. There's some musicians that know nothing about theory, and they play the best way they can, and it works. And even though it might be considered wrong, it works. Because I just find it interesting. The theory people always want to chime in and, you wrong, and this is what it should be. If you got a decent ear, you can hear that the E major doesn't work. It's E minor. That's just like, again, I mentioned before, the song Maggot Brain? Maggot Brain, I believe, yeah. According to theory, that shouldn't work because that song is mashing major with minors in that key, which doesn't supposed to work. But guess what? It does work. Sometimes you kind of have to create your own style or system of music. Because, the bottom line is this. The audience does not care what you do theory-wise or non-theory-wise, just as long as it sounds good. Because my dedication is to the audience that pays me, not some other dude sitting in the other room talking about, oh, well, according to theory, this shouldn't work, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm not here to entertain that guy. I'm here to entertain you guys. The people just want to hear good music and not get into that technical nonsense. Because that's all it is. The whole thing around sheet music is to get you to physically play your instrument. It's to get you there. It's not the main thing. It's secondary. What's first and foremost is you playing your instrument. So I just thought I would post this video to not discourage young and up and coming people with fresh ears and don't want to obey by that total theory mess. Because I've posted close to 2,700 videos on my page before I had to take them down due to copyright issues, but a lot of them are showing up on my other channel, so check that out. 99% of those songs, it's not 100% of those songs, I didn't rely on theory. Wasn't worrying about what key I was in. I just played the chords that were in the song. That's all you have to do. Unless you doing some orchestrative stuff, that whole I need to know what key you're in, it's not necessary. Because I'm going to tell you what's more important than that key nonsense and that theory is the knowing structure of song. Knowing the difference between your verses, your chorus, modulation, vamps, and things of that nature. That's extremely important instead of worrying about, the key of E, this is this chord and this chord and this. That's fine if you're trying to go to Classicalville. If you're just a regular dude, regular woman playing R&B stuff off the radio, don't spend too much of that time, into that thing. Because the time you're taking to do this, you could just be working on physically playing your instrument well. because again, that's the main objective, is to be able to play your instrument very well. Not I can read up a storm, but you got some people that kind of got caught up in that because that's all they can do and they're not good at actually playing. So they want to sit back and orchestrate what you need to do, which is ridiculous. But enough of that. That wasn't a rant. It was just basically saying that you can't always go by theory, because the people that perform and write stuff don't always go by theory neither. Some of them don't even know theory. But here's another a question from one of my subscribers, and actually it's a pretty good question. Charles, how you doing out there? Charles said, this is a good question. He said, after you've played a song and you haven't played it in 2 or 3 months, how do you remember it when you have to go back? And my answer to that question is you don't. Once you start to read chord charts, it takes the burden off trying to memorize all that stuff, because people always ask me about things that I done 2 years ago. I'm like, that was 2 years ago. I don't know what I did. I mean, during that period, I studied, I looked at the chord charts, I played it. But if you ask me about something that I did 2 years ago, I'm drawing a blank, because my mind is not trying to keep and store that stuff. It's not necessary. Once I've done it, I moved on to the next, move on to the next. So that's the answer to that question, because I think initially everybody feels that, and I did too, that I got to try to memorize all this stuff since I can't read music and I know nothing about theory or anything. So I'm solely on memory, as opposed to I'm going to write it down, what chords in the verse, what chords in the chorus, what chords in the modulation, and blah, blah, and put it away. If I need to refer back 2 years later, dig it back out, less than 5 minutes, I'm back. So that's my recommendation to you. Start working on learning how to read sheet music, which I go into a whole DVD dedicated towards that. I think it's DVD number 5 of the 6 DVD set